Hi, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photography talks. So today I want to talk about getting inspired and what makes inspiration. It can come from a lot of things, but whatever inspires you, that's a good thing to go toward, right? I like the famous quote, I think it was from Picasso, who said, "Inspiration exists, but it has to find you working." You have to be out there. You have to go out there. If you say, "I don't know what to shoot, so I'm not going to go." No, you have to go, and then you'll know what to shoot. Going and participating and getting started is when inspiration will arrive, and then you will be working on something that you're glad you created. Sometimes it's hard to get out the door. I've many times said, when I go down and take the bus to Denver or drive down to Boulder, I'm always glad when I come back with photographs that I wouldn't have gotten. And the thing is, when you don't go, you don't know that you didn't miss anything because you don't know what you missed. You don't know the photographs that you could have had because you didn't see them. I often thought, if you don't want to spend money at yard sales, just don't go to yard sales. You may not get a great deal, but you also won't know that you didn't get a great deal because you didn't go. And when it comes down to it, whatever inspires you, get out there and do it. If it's portraits, go out and hang out with your friends and tell them you're coming out to make portraits. And you'll find a way. So I went down to the Francesca Woodman show down in Denver, and I thought, if I'm going to bring a camera, I'm going to bring a Yashica mat, 124G. I bought this at a store in maybe Kansas City. I stopped in a small town just to take a break from driving when I was crossing the country. And inside that store, they had this with a sign that said 125. And I checked it out. It was in great condition and working. And the owner of that little booth ended up walking over into that booth to move some things that they had just brought to the store. And I said, "Is this your booth?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "I'd give you $75 for that." And she said, "Okay." And for $75, I took this out to the Francesca Woodman show, and I photographed some of the scenes of the show and some of the scenes of Denver with it because it inspired me to use the camera that she used when she was working at the School of Design in Rhode Island. And I thought, anything that is a link to that inspiration. If you want to go out and shoot street with a Leica because Bresson inspires you or Winograd inspires you, great, do it. This, on that day, was the camera I used. And it's not like there's not other days that I could go and shoot that same area without this camera. I will. But on that day, it was like, well, if I have to take a camera, why not take the camera that she used? And it'd be kind of a fun little tribute in a sense. And there are a number of ways that you can get inspired, but whatever works. Inspiration is key. But you have to show up. You have to get out there and do the work. There was a recent Emmy Award? People's Choice? No, Golden Globes. Golden Globes Award. And Renee Zellweger won an award. And she said she wanted to thank somebody, maybe her manager, for constantly remembering to tell her, "Renee, do the work. Do the work." That's what it comes down to. We have to do the work. We have to show up. And we can't show up yesterday because it's already past. And we can't do tomorrow's work. It's not here yet. We don't have the time. All we really can do is right now is, am I going out now? No, I'm working? Okay. Am I going out after work? When am I going out? When am I working? When am I doing it? Because we have to make that time. And I am a pretty strong believer that if you are really a true artist who loves what you do, you don't have to be talked into it that much. The writers that I know who write, they don't have to be talked into it. And the writers who don't write, I don't know if they love writing as much as they like the idea of having written. The photographers who want to work but they never go out and photograph, maybe they don't really want to be photographers. Maybe they just like the idea of it. But the people who are real artists, you can't really stop them. You don't have to talk them into it. And I think that when it comes down to it, we have to remember today is all we can do. If you want to chip at a career, just do something today. If you want to get into an exercise fitness and walk 20 minutes a day, get out your front door, walk 10 minutes one way, and walk back, you'll have made 20 minutes. You don't have to make an exercise routine for life. You just have to do something today. Everything comes down to today. If you want to eat right, you don't have to eat right forever. Just eat right today. Because everything comes down to what are we doing? And we have to do it. We can't talk about it. We can't say what we want to be doing. We just have to do it. And it's only today that matters. So what inspires you? Take that camera, take that lens, take that idea of what you want to create and just go out. If you have no ideas, go out anyway. Inspiration strikes when it finds you working. So if you don't have an idea, you'll get one. All right, that's today's photography talk. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. Thanks to all my supporters. I appreciate you, and I will be back next week with another photography talk. Here's to good light.